more focused. All right, I'll share my screen. So, all right, so GreyBox101. I will just start with the empty scene like this, and yeah, and just delete that like platform. Uh, Now I'm on 425, and on 424 the landscape mode is next to the place actors here. So they moved that for some reason over here. But so if you, yeah, it's here. And then you just go to landscape, and the default landscape is what is it, maybe 500 meters or something like that. And I mean for initial testing and grayboxing, it could just be fine with default settings. So just click create here. Yeah, yeah. But up, up here in the upper right corner of the like scene window, like viewport, there's where the number 6 is. There is a camera speed setting. So for like a medium size landscape like this, I would use number 6, and that will make your mouse or you fly around a lot faster. So all right, and when you're in landscape, you have 3 modes: manage, you have sculpt, which is like 99% of the stuff I do, and paint also. All right, yeah. And like I said, I usually use the tip, so the brush tip shape is there smooth, I choose tip. But I mean that's a completely a personal preference. Uh, from the start, I use like usually a really large brush size, uh, and just kind of block out. Yeah, and I mean for this part, you could. I mean, if you want to play, if you're new to Unreal and all that, you can just you just play around and try to see what you can get. But when you're starting on your kind of serious serious landscape, I would recommend that you have some reference material in Photoshop or PureRef or something to because it's a good exercise to follow reference, not to get lazy and just it becomes whatever it becomes. If you have a reference, you will, you will force yourself to do something that's maybe harder. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's kind of the whole gray box exercise is you can't be a perfectionist. I mean, it's like when you draw a portrait or something, uh, you have to put some like really faint lines here and there, like small markers, and move stuff around so you get the proportions right and all that before you even start to get into details. And it's also a good exercise to be rough, to paint like broad strokes, and also to fail quickly and realize like, okay, this is completely wrong. It's like 1/10 of the size it should be. And then a lot of times for me, when I make stuff, I throw it away. So it's a lot of times it takes less time to make something completely new than to fix something that's like wicked. Um, and I don't I don't want to get too like stuck on the landscape painting because uh, in my opinion, you can't make a like a good landscape with Unreal's landscape painting tools. I guess you can, but you have to make a lot of alphas and special tools and complex shaders. So for me, it's just like a basis to have kind of sculptable base, and then I always make static meshes like ZBrush stuff uh, um, for anything like anything specific. So um, I mean I'm a huge like ZBrush fan. I've had it since like the version 2 or something like in yeah, and it's just that's when you do a lot of 3D, you can always make these perfect shapes, and but the nature is rarely like that. So in ZBrush it's much easier to kind of be just push and pull a little bit and put it in the scene. Do like don't be a perfectionist. Just try to make it work. Play with the shadows and the light, and kind of the oh, now I'm making something really wicked. And try to get a few laps or a few rounds. Don't just start to make one landscape. Try to make it perfect. Like make one cliff. Try to make that perfect. Just uh, practice being like uh, messy, or not messy, but loose, and try different ideas. Uh, oh yeah, I try to export it. Like, yeah, but I mean it takes that that's an extra reason not to try to make something perfect the first time, because it's never going to be perfect. So you will be 100% certain to fail. So don't even try. Uh, I mean, find some reference, some cool picture, whatever, and maybe even try to make a like a using only like boxes or whatever. Uh, Try to just get away from the white paper, so to speak. Like a white paper is really terrifying because what you do is like the first line is such a big step. So trying to get away from that kind of quick, uh, and just putting stuff out like uh, and also I mean the one of the big advantages of doing like games with 3D is you can make stuff that an architect could never make, like a 1,000 meter tall building, or stuff like that. So it's it's a good place to um, I mean to really try stuff out that's kind of fantastic, or huge, or super small. I scale to me is like a really cool uh, aspect, and to get that, I mean, in if you're painting, or if you're doing like architecture stuff, they always put people and cars in the pictures to show the scale, because if you have that, people relate, and uh, yeah. Whoops. So I usually put like a third person character inside, and do the auto possess on it. Also, like uh, things are easy to change, like change the time of day, uh, stuff like that, before you even start to model, because something in the shade won't be very. important. But where the light shines, I mean, especially if you're making a night scene like the film noir stuff, if you put all your details just painting where the light is, you get like 5 times more time to make details there. Like so pretty much end up like 5 times higher quality in the entire image because you can't see anything where it's black. It could be like one polygon and it doesn't matter. Yeah, but I mean, you don't have to. Like I saw this, um, someone posted a Ghibli posters page. I don't know who, and that's buildings. So I mean, if you make a new one again, don't sell that. Oops. Uh, so if you're making a street, you maybe take your platform and just scale it up a couple of times, um, and maybe make I mean, skip the landscape, make a building, uh, like super quick building. Uh, yeah, 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 yeah. What do you like then? Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. But make a frame for an animation you like to make. If you want to make a character strolling down like a path or whatever, try to make that path. I mean, if you want to be a, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, the landscape gets like a Minecrafted. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's always good to expand one's like horizons. Um, yeah, but that's really important to get over that. Um Actually, when I went to traditional art school, after I started out as a visual effects guy and made lots of explosions and characters and monsters and all this. And but then I got tired of that, so I went into traditional sculpting or traditional art school and later focused on sculpting. And the biggest thing I learned in art school was like not to be afraid to use new tools or try anything. And that's such a freedom. I mean, for me, like going out with the camera and just taking a lot of pictures and maybe that make cutouts and make like really random stuff is like in giving yourself the possibility to you try anything. And it's not like, yeah, I'm an animator only, like I can make a collage, whatever, if I feel like it. And I mean, it's to me like considering oneself an artist is much more freedom because then you can do anything. I mean, you can record audio if you like that, and make it. I do a lot of virtual reality stuff too. I mean, I make a dark room with audio in it. I mean, it's not even though I'm really good at making 3D assets, I can do whatever, and that's so kind of shaking off any ideas and is a good thing for life.